Hello guys, and welcome to my new player's guide for the game Frostpunk. Frostpunk came out today on the 24th of April 2018. It's a base building survival game. So we have to build a base to survive the frost, the snow, the ice, whatever you want to call it. So let's start a game. I've obviously been practicing before this video, so I could just take you through the basics of how it works. So what we're going to do, we're going to select the first scenario. There's a couple more that you can unlock, but let's just do the first one for the sake of this tutorial. You can customize it. So for now, just for the sake of tutorial, we're going to set it to easy mode. Okay, just so we can understand the basics. So let's start. So you can watch the opening cutscene if you want. So a new home. So let me take you through the very basics. So you start out in this crater, and the very first thing you might find is essentially, what do I do? So as with They Are Billions, first thing you want to do is pause time immediately. Pause it. You can set it to normal speed, fast speed, or very fast speed. And you can move around with WASD, or you can hold right click to move around. I prefer WASD. If you want to rotate the camera, hold middle click. And middle click will allow you to rotate. You can zoom in and out using the scroll wheel. Now, the first thing you want to do is look at your resources. So you have 60 coal, you have 50 wood, you have 30 steel. This is easy mode. Harder modes you have less and less. And you have 150 raw food and 0 food rations. So you need to gather raw food to prepare it into food for your citizens. And all you're given initially is this generator, which you'll use to heat up at night. And it will burn you through your coal, so you will have to find a way to replace your coal. And days like this, so you can see here, day 5, the temperature will drop, so we have to be prepared for that. But we don't have to worry about it just yet. When it's minus 20, it's okay, even though minus 20C is flipping cold in real life. And we have stockpiles, and later on we might worry about getting more stockpiles. Now, the very first thing you want to do is assign your citizens to gather. So what you can see around this map, you can see these deposits. So you see here coal pile, steel wreckage, wood crates, and so on. So to assign people to them, I would suggest wood first. Select this, wood crates. Then you select how many people you want to assign to it. I personally just go all out. So we'll have 15 people to there. And we'll prioritize wood because we need it to build our houses. And we'll get some steel. Yeah. Now, the thing is, you can't assign kids to work, really, unless it's signed into law. So for now, we're only assigning engineers to gather things. But if we want the kids to help out as well, click on this button, Book of Laws. You can also access it pressing L. And you see here, you have adaptation. Click on that. And you can see these are the different laws you can set into place. So the first one I recommend you put is child labor safe jobs. So you have child shelters, but do the safe jobs first. And you can see here, children can work in safe workplaces. Hope will fall slightly. Children workers can be injured in accidents. So beware of that. Okay. So we've now assigned everyone. And what I recommend really is every single person is always employed. So you can see here 15 kids unemployed. So let's assign them now to gathering this steel. Okay, so now every single person is employed. Now every single person also needs to be housed. So that's the thing. So what you want to do to build houses, click on here, construction, or B, people, you get tents. So as with They Are Billions, you start with tents and then you can upgrade them as you go along. So in order to build it, it says there you need 10 wood, which means we need 80 wood to house all 80 citizens. Right now we have 50. So when we get 30 more, we'll assign 8 houses. So let's do it. So because it's only going up because we've assigned people to it. So you see now, pause time, we have exactly 80 wood. Now one thing I recommend is to build the houses as close to the center as possible, because at night when it gets really cold, or days when it gets really cold, the generator will provide heating. So favor the houses as close to the middle as possible, is in my opinion. Now these drops, like these wood crates and steel and so on, they're only temporary. So don't worry too much about putting settlements to gather these crates and so on, because they will just disappear very quickly. Now, however, these trees are more permanent. So when you want to build sawmills, which we'll do later, then we can build sawmills on a more permanent basis. So anyway, so we've got our 80 wood. So let's build some tents. So the good thing is it is kind of snap to grid. So you can see here, like, it will snap to grid. It will say how much space it will take and so on. So here we go. So 1, 2, 3. Make sure you don't leave any unnecessary gaps. You want to use the space as efficiently as possible. So 6, 7, 8. There we go. So now we're out of wood, but it doesn't matter because we're about to get more. But at least we will have all the homes for all the people. You want everyone to always be housed. So let's fast forward it a bit. Now, the way it works in this game is that there is day and night cycle, and people will only work during certain hours of the day. So you need to be aware of that. Now, later on, you can get something in the lore called emergency shift. And what that will allow you to do, and it will be the next one we get, is allow certain buildings to operate 24 hours a day or even longer if you get extended shift. But we're not going to worry about that just yet. But just be aware that when it's quitting time, they will stop for the night. So do anticipate that when you're gathering resources. So let's keep gathering. So you hear this announced it, 8 p.m. workday ends. Now you'll get these occasional pop-ups. So click on it and it will give you certain warnings, things to worry about. So it says here, the heating is off, generator's off, people are afraid they'll freeze to death. Now if you don't provide them heating, they will literally freeze to death on the first night. So the way to check really is click this button here, this thermometer, and you can see the temperature. So you can see, because it's so close to the generator, it's a livable work condition. And this symbol here tells you the fact that 60 people currently are homeless, which means we have to just wait for all the tents to be built. Another one's been built, so now it says 50, and so on. So we have anticipated that ahead of time because you're watching a Mithrie guide and you love it. Okay, so now in order to hit this first target, we're going to activate the generator. So let's do that now. So activate it. Boom. So that goal is now done. Now there is... Okay, so now it's giving us warning. The generator hums with reassuring warmth, but we shouldn't take it for granted. If the generator goes down, the city dies. Be mindful of coal reserves. So we have to keep an eye on the coal. And now we need food. So we need a way to get raw food and build a cookhouse so we can cook meals. And if I just pause, one thing you can do again, you can look at all these different tutorials by clicking that button on the top left. So you see down here now, it says secure food supply, build a hunter's hut or a hothouse, and build a cookhouse to prepare the meals. Okay, so if we go to construction, we go to food, we want one hunter's hut. So, and the good thing is you can build them as far away as you'd like, but buildings don't work unless they have an adjacent road. So do be wary of that before you build anything. So, and also as well, if you put a building over potential resources like wood or so on, it will destroy them and it'll give you a warning. So it says here, building here will destroy resources. So it does warn you if that will actually happen. So beware of that. Make sure you build somewhere where initially it won't destroy resources. So we're going to build it, like I said, we want as many of these. We want the inner ring to be houses only, and essentially, because the closer to the middle, the better. Okay, so let's build it. Let's build it out here. So we have our hunter zone here. Now, like I said, we need to connect it to a road, otherwise this building won't work. So what you do, click on here, and then click on build street. What you can then do, you can connect a street to the building. Now, beware that this does use wood, so make sure you keep an eye on your wood supply. So let me just keep building, keep building. Okay, so that is done. Now, as I said, resources are scarce, especially at the beginning of the game. So don't go crazy and build roads everywhere, then you'll run out of wood and then you can't build anything else. So beware of that. Now, the next thing we want to do, we want to build a cookhouse so that we can prepare food that is gathered for us. So let's build a cookhouse right next door. It doesn't have to be next door. It's just we're trying to get it out of the way of the houses at the middle. And again, this won't work unless it has a road. So build another road there. Okay. Now the next step after this is to start researching other facilities. Without researching, we'll have very limited options. You see, we can only build 2 for food and 2 for resources and so on. So what you need to do to get research is to build these. They're called workshops. So let's put the workshops, let's put it way over here, and we're only going to build 1 of them for now. Later on I'll see if I can build more. We still have plenty of wood, so let's assign wood to them. Again, you need to, like I said, if you don't assign a road, then it won't work. You don't have to do it all the way to the center. I just do because OCD or whatever. Now, one thing you need to keep in mind is also the health of your citizens. So one thing you can do, open up here and you can see health tab. Now, we don't have enough wood. We need 25 wood per center. We only have 19 at the moment. So for now, given we've already said build 8 houses and build the hunter hut and the cookhouse and a workshop, we're basically done for the day until more can be done. So let's fast forward time until the next morning. And it is really important to build the roads. Without the roads, these buildings won't function. Okay, so people for our convoy. The basic resources are now secured. We can try and rescue people we left behind. Build a beacon, scout the Frost land, and save as many survivors from the expedition as possible. You'll need a workshop to design plans for more advanced buildings. Okay, now, so we've built the hunter hut, and we've also built the cookhouse. Now, we do need to assign people to them, so we need to work out which one of these facilities we can take people off. Usually what I do is I take people off because we don't really need steel at the moment. We need some later, but not right now. We already have 115. So I take them off that, and I assign them to the cookhouse, because children are good for that. They can cook soup or whatever. Now, for the hunter shop, you can only put workers. So take a look at all the places you might have put people to work and unassign a few so that you can put them to work in the hunt workshop. So let's get rid of these 15 workers here and assign them to there. The more the better. So now we have food coming in, because if we have no food, then people will starve to death. So for now, until we get a more permanent route for these resources, we'll keep people gathering coal. So let's get the workers off here, and let's get 5 engineers off here, and let's assign the 10 kids. So we still have 15 people working, so we have 10 kids and 5 engineers, but we have a bunch of workers available for other things. So what you want to do for the research facility or the workhouse, you want to assign the engineers. You can only assign engineers to workshops. Now, what you can do, you can click here, add new research, and then this is a technology tree. This is what allows us to gather more, research new facilities, basically. Now, we want a permanent income of wood. So a good idea is to research the sawmill first. So let's research that. Okay, and one thing we do need as well, we can see here people are starting to get sick. So go to health. We need wood, which is why we're building or researching the sawmill. Once we get the sawmill, we gather some more wood, then we will okay, let's see. Let's assign the people the wood crates for now. No one's available. Okay, so make sure we gather more wood, but then we'll build a medical center ASAP. So, because when people start getting sick, they don't ever get cured unless they get treated. So, let's keep going. Now, it's not my intention to finish the entire level during this video, because that'll take hours. Like, they are billions. Like, one level might take 5 or 6 hours. But I wanted to just show you the basics. So, critical shortage. The number of sick is rising. We don't have enough materials to build a medical post. Perhaps a short burst of effort could help us with the necessary resources. Okay, so emergency shift. Let's sign that into law. So the work shift can be extended to 24 hours. So for now, what that means is, so we have 5 people assigned here. We can say here, emergency shift. So people will work through the night on these places. And I would say only do this at the beginning. It's not that important later on, but it is definitely important at the beginning. And also keep in mind what they are actually gathering. So we have 15 people here. So they're gathering 2 woods and 1 steel, which is good because we need lots and lots of wood at the beginning of the game. Now, when we get to 25 wood, we'll build a medical center. Now, things you have to manage in this game are the discontent level. You need to make sure it doesn't reach the maximum. And hope level, you need to make sure that reaches the maximum. If your discontent reaches 100% and your hope reaches 0, then you lose the level. You, as a leader, get banished from the city and it's game over. So, yeah. So we have to... What I'm going to do now, I'm going to pause the recording. I'm going to build a little bit more. I'll show you what I've done, and then we will come back once I've built a beacon and I'm ready to send people off on the next expedition. So I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so we have now built our first beacon. So what I did is I still have the food going. We can see we've cleared up a few of these places. We're still gathering some coal. We're still doing research. So every time research is finished, we then just research something else. So I'm currently researching hunter's gear. I got a sawmill. I've got a beacon. You need to research the beacon before you can do it. And I highly recommend you research the heaters quite quickly as well, because you're going to need it for the first temperature drop. Now you can see our food is more than enough. Coal is going well. And everything else is fine. Now, the way it works, you need to make a party before you can send them out on research. So to do that, you need to make sure you have at least 5 workers available. Then you click on the beacon, click on this plus sign. Okay, and then we want to send people for the expedition. So you see here, we've now got a scout team 1. Eventually you can get more scout teams, but you have to research that for later on. Now, now that we've now we've got the beacon, we can go between cities. So what you can then do, you want to explore the different areas that become available. The further you explore, the more becomes available. So we click here, locks expedition, and we want to then click on. We then click on the party wherever it is. Then we click on this symbol here, which will send the party to the new place, and we want to do it quickly. So you see here, scouts 1 are now sent to the lost expedition. There's an observatory and there's other places nearby, but like I said, we will do them one at a time. Now then just click back on the city. To get back into the city, scroll mouse up and so on. So generally everything seems to be fine at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on it. So there's one at the moment. There's one person sick. Hope is okay. Discontent is better than it could be. People are not happy because of the emergency shifts, but I thought it was necessary. Now, we're now ready to search and so on. So sending people out on the first expedition actually generates quite a lot of hope. So let's see that. Let's fast forward. Okay, so now you can see on this timer that there's 7 hours remaining until they get back, or until they reach their destination, sorry. So, okay, we saw people researching. Now, I am researching the hunter gear right now because it will make us gather even more food. But right now, we can take food for granted because it's kind of full, but later on when we get more citizens, then we're going to miss it. So yeah, so there we go. So let's pause time. So now this is finished. It says waiting, so click on it, and it says here, we've now arrived at the Lost Expedition, and we want to explore it. There's survivors we found here. So let's click explore. So we found some survivors, sites discovered, a crash site, and a sturdy shelter. So let's escort them back to the city. Now, we do have a choice what we're going to do next. When they get back to the city, then we'll do the next area. We'll go to this sturdy shelter. Okay? So, generally, people are happy. So, now, generally, you can see here, people are living comfortably. The temperatures are good, so it's very comfortable. As long as they're in a comfortable environment, it prevents them getting ill. But, you see, this resource depot... it's not the best because people have a risk of getting ill. So if they work in a cold environment, they are at risk of getting ill. It's a very simple concept. So we want it to be as warm as possible, but don't go overboard if it's going to make you run out of resources. So let's continue. So you can see here we have 5 hours remaining until the people are escorted back. So let's fast forward. Okay. We have to get ready for the temperature drop. You'll see what the temperature drop is like. Okay, there we go. So the hunter gear is now researched, which means that the hunting will be even more effective. So we have the beacon, we have the sawmill. Let's actually now research the steelworks. So let's research that, and let's keep going. There we go. Scout number 1 have returned safely to the city. You can disband the scouts at the beacon or send them back into the Frostland. So let's do this. So we get a little cutscene. Now, of course, these new citizens need to be housed. They brought some, you can see some reserves with them as well. But cool. So, heartwarming to see families reunited, and so on. Now, like I said, they all have to be housed, so beware of that. We now have 115 citizens, and we know that quite a lot of them are unemployed now. So what we're going to do first, we'll pause time. We want to make sure that the beacon team is always busy. The last thing we want to do is let them have a break, let's say, because they have to explore as quickly as possible. We're going to go this way towards the southwest. We're going to ignore these 2 places for now, and let's go this way. Okay, so the scout team is off. And then let's go back to the city. Now we have to worry about the new citizens. So again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the recording. What I'm going to do, I'm going to build more houses, and we're going to make sure that we satisfy the needs of the new citizens and so on. And once we've made a little bit more progress, then we will continue. Okay, so I've now been going at this for a couple of hours. I built a big city, and I've also been doing some exploring. Now, not to spoil much, you'll discover this on your own, but certain buildings can be upgraded. So we have here the steel version of the coal thumper, and it can go further and further. But what happens is that towards the end of the game, or at the end of each level, you get a massive ice storm that covers up. You can't even explore the outside world anymore when you get to this point. So this is like the They Are Billions ending. So it's a case of, can we survive this ice storm, which comes just over a day from now. So let's see if we can. I don't think I can, but let's see. Now, one thing I've been able to do is I've been able to put total devotion, which is part of the purpose laws. It's not really what I wanted to do, but I just didn't want to keep worrying about hope. And you can build a temple, and you can do these occasional things which lower discontent. It's essentially like do what I say or die sort of a situation. And what I've been doing as well to get ready for this is I switched my generator off for now, and I'm going to wait for that to come on. Then I'm going to put the generator on full blast and then see if I can survive this storm. I probably won't, but let's simply see. So I'm trying to gather as much coal as possible and so on. So we have one more day. So the storm hits the city. Howling bursts, the cold will be brutal, hunting is impossible, the soil in the house boxes will freeze, you'll have to make do the food that we've stockpiled. Survive the storm. We don't even understand what the storm will bring, we are completely unprepared. Regardless, be wary of falling temperature and try to survive the storm. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to literally switch off everything that is not urgent. So let me go through. One thing that's a good idea, zoom out a little bit and you can see what all the problem areas are. So as I say, we don't need... Care houses are whatever, we can leave those alone. The temple is whatever, we can leave that alone. The sawmill, I guess we'll switch that off. The beacon, we'll switch that off because we can't explore anything. The factory, we'll switch that off. The factory allows us to get automations and so on. Coal thumper, maybe we'll leave that on. And then the medical outpost, I don't know if that will help. And then medical post, cookhouse. Okay, so these places are hunt a hut because they can't go out hunting. So let's just switch them all off one at a time. So off, off, off. So we'll see if I survive the storm. I highly doubt it, given it's my first attempt. But we'll see. I've got rare food, but I don't have any food rations saved up, so I'm probably going to die. Okay, anyway, let's just try this out. Here we go. 90 degrees. Hope falls. Wood supplies are low. Okay, so let's put the steam on. Full pelt. So what it is simply, I don't mind putting on steam level 3 because it takes time for it to fall down. And it's a case of, can I survive this? I probably will die. I'm sure all of my residents are about to die. The way that you know you've died is simply your discontent gets to 100 and you're then screwed. Okay. So let's put this on again. Sorry, it's a bit of freezes because the more you build, the more it's gonna be a problem on your computer. So you see, every time it's going down, the coal goes up really quickly. So I want to make sure that it doesn't ever reach 0. I want to make sure it doesn't shut down. Oh wow! It's now even colder. Eek. Okay, so coal is going up. We're literally doing everything we can to keep the heating on. So it's shutting down. Coal is up again. Let's put it up. I don't know, maybe this is like a cheap method to do this, but I'm doing whatever I can to survive. Because once it reaches 0, then just God help us sort of thing. So let's leave it on. I'm sure it's about to get even colder. Let's fast forward. People are furious. We have to hold on for a couple more days. So simply, if it reaches 100% discontent, then you'll be banished from the city. So, oh, my discontent is like 90%. Let's do this, at least a little bit. Okay. You can understand why the people are furious, though, because it's flipping. Look, it's minus 110 degrees C. Can we increase it this far? Nope. So we're doing anything we can to survive this storm. We can see there's like what, 2 days left on the storm? Can we survive 2 more days? That is the question. Without it reaching discontent 100. Is there any more things I can do? Nope, not enough food rations. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do possibly, let me switch off some of these steam hubs if they're not actually helping me, because they're just using resources otherwise. I've got a lot of them because it extends the heating range. So let's switch all these off. In fact, a good way to do it is go in there, go to the consumption tab, and then switch off anything that you don't need, because you can see how much coal it's using per hour. So let's see, we want to switch. We'll keep on. Okay, we'll keep on the care homes. Coal thumper, we'll keep those on. Medical post, I guess we can keep that on. We'll keep on anything which isn't a something that won't work. So the hothouse won't work. Medical post possibly works. The care house works. Cookhouse, they work. It looks like, I know it looks like I'm switching a lot on at the moment, but I'm sure there'll be a lot I'll switch off, especially when I switch off the steam hubs. So the medical post, house of healing, thumper, medical post. Factory will leave that off. Medical posts, keep those on. Thank God there's a pause time button. Workshop, we'll keep that off. Medical, steelworks, we'll keep that off. Faith keepers, put that on. Coal mine on. Sawmill, we'll keep that off. Hothouse off. Coal thumper. So anything with coal, because we need as much coal as possible, obviously, in this situation. So care house, coal mine, cookhouse, medical posts. Okay. Now you can see that they don't use any coal an hour because I've increased my efficiency. So you can increase the efficiency, which reduces the amount of coal that these buildings use by 1. I don't need sawmills right now. Coal thumper. Steam hub. Okay, let's switch those off. Okay, let's switch that off. Off, off. As long as we can try and increase it. So let's switch off all the steam hubs. So as long as, like I say, so that the coal can go up a lot higher. Okay, so we're making a lot more than we're spending right now, in theory. So let's try. Let's try, guys. Wish me luck. Is there anything I can do here? Nope. Okay. It's just a case, can I survive 2 more days? So you see, actually, my discontent is actually now going down. So right now I'm surviving the 200 degrees. So let's keep fast forwarding. Now remember, guys, I am doing this on the easy mode. Oh wow, it's even colder now. Jeez. So I really had to do the last second, just switch everything off. Darkness before dawn. One of our engineers has come crashing through the face, demanding to see you. I run calculation with this new data, the storm will be past in a couple of days, but the temperature before the end will drop drastically. Nothing can protect us from such cold. Panic is starting to spread and people are losing all hope. Okay, I mean, there's literally nothing I can do about it. Like, I can try and do research. No, I can't because I haven't got enough materials. So you can see as well, this is what I've done with the technology tree. I'm sure I could have done it a lot better, but at least we're having fun with this. This is really fun for me. Okay, a tip from a believer. Okay, cool. Can we do anything to lower discontent? Nope. Let them stay home. Okay. The people refusing to work, let them stay home. Because if in that situation, I would stay home as well, to be perfectly honest. Ah, 2 more days. So let's see if we can survive 2 more days. Let's go override mode. Can we do it? Can we survive? Okay, let's pause and let's see if we can turn on any heaters. Okay, the heaters are all on. We've already gone through this. So, in fact, let me switch on these because at least they're around the houses. So, we'll switch on the steam hubs around the houses just to try and help out. Just to try. All the other steam hubs will keep them off. My food reserves are running out. So it's like I said, it's like the ending of They Are Billions. You have to really be ready for this. So let's fast forward. We've almost made it. Almost made it. So discontent is still there. Okay, can we do anything at all? No, we nearly can, but not quite. A frozen family. Ugh. Okay. Let's fast forward, please. 1 more day. We just need 1 more day to get through. 2 people have died. Damn it. We got 98 citizens to go. I think it's one of those things, as long as you survive with 1 citizen, you win. Okay, so obviously switching on those steam hubs was a mistake, because we're now out of coal completely. So let's switch them off again, because they use a lot of coal each. Okay, so let's switch those off, switch those off, off, and off. Okay, let's fast forward. We want that number to always be going up. Switch it back on. Now it's almost at critical level with the overdrive, so switching that off as well. We have to keep an eye on that. It would have given me a warning anyway. Okay, 1 more day until the light. Can we survive? Do we have enough citizens? We have 93 citizens left alive. I'm sure people are starving to death. Can we do anything? Let's try and reduce our discontent so it doesn't go over 100. And let's fast forward. 150. Ugh. Please. We're almost there. The storm ends. The wind dies down and the temperature finally starts to rise. An eerie silence descends on the city. Wow, look at the temperature drop. And that's it. So we got a bunch of achievements on Steam. We survived level 1. It's over, I can't believe it. We survived, we made it. Nice. So yeah, that is how you do a level in Frostpunk. So I hope you liked this video. We started as a band of heathens. Oh wow, is it gonna literally fast forward you through the entire building process? That's really epic. So this is how I built my city out. You can see every time I went around in circles and just built things up slowly. One thing I didn't do this time, I didn't really take advantage of building outposts which would provide the town with coal. So I was struggling for coal nearly the whole time. Every day was a struggle, it really was. So we adapted. This game is awesome, guys. It's really, really awesome. I had so much fun making this video. I can't explain. It was so fun. And this is just the first scenario. We'll see what the other scenarios are like. I just want to finish this cutscene. And sorry if this video is quite long, I just wanted to make sure that you understand the full scope of this game. And by the way guys, I've got a GTX 970. The city survived, but was it worth it? The blessed city of New London, 88 souls, minus 30 degrees C. I like how the story is, London has frozen, so we decided to go north. Like, why would you go north? Why not south to the equator? But that's it. So, yay, done. So, if you like this video, I hope you leave some nice comments down below. Anyway, let's roll the end screen. So anyway guys, thank you for watching. If you want to watch a random video, click over there. If you want to see the latest upload, click down there. Or click down here to subscribe. Great game. I had a lot of fun. So I'll see you next time guys. Bye bye.